Good evening, all, and welcome. I think the break was actually necessary so that we can take a little break and okay, we are all here. So we'll be rounding up tools today for the first class. So tomorrow we'll be finalizing the vulnerability analysis tool and see how we move into app spoofing this week. So let's take a fresh recap because we've stayed for 1 week. What have we learned? Now, I don't know if has anybody watched the. Do you guys watch the video for the Singapore team? That's in Singapore interview. Do you watch the video? If you are here, just type yes on the WhatsApp handle. Okay, good. So let's take a recap of what we've done so far because this class is no longer a basic class. So while others are joining, let me share the screen. So can we do a recap on what we have done so far on this particular Kali Linux? Do we still remember this? Or these are basics. After now, we'll be switching gear. So let's be sure. Do we all still remember this? From there, we actually move to looking at what vulnerability tools. Yes. So we look at text manipulation tools. Can somebody just give us a brief why we don't allow people to talk? So if you looked at the Singapore presentation, it shows clearly that one, cost of training per module, so that so these are the modules you are taking, so that anytime you come here, I'm just saying this again, that you come here, you take it serious, you understand the sacrifice we have done to actually come up with this achievement. It took us 2 years to get to this milestone, so we are not here to play. So these are the modules you are taking. So ordinarily, you are supposed to be paying what? $16,000. So it came with what? That is what? Your cost of training. Go and watch the video. It came with what? 85% discount. It's a project with 85% discount. That is what it came with. So I I believe there are those who are resident in US, there are those who are resident in UK, there are those, so that you can go do you can do. That's why we brought those people, so that you can hear the cost of the training itself. So it came with this discount. It took us 2 years to arrive at this junction. They did not want to do it in the first place from Israel, because they just felt Africa is actually a no-go zone for them. It took us 2 years to convince them to come with this. So when we come here, it's serious business. So let's take it very seriously. So back, so that while this is still available, take advantage of it and go. So because in Singapore, they pay $8,000 for 4 modules. That's the standard anywhere you take things about training. So we've looked at different things and different tools. So we looked at information gathering tools, we looked at vulnerability analysis tools. Now, for the information gathering tools, can somebody actually list the tools we looked at? Can somebody just list all the tools we looked at in information gathering, all the tools we looked at in vulnerability analysis, all the tools we looked at in web penetration testing, and the tools we looked at in exploitation, so that we can list them out before we look at other tools, so that we finish. Let's take this 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or 3 hours to finish every tools, so that we are not actually coming back to this anymore. Okay, information gathering tools, we looked at Nmap. It's like most people are not talking. So information gathering tools, we looked at what? Nmap. So it's not we just come here treat new things. So let's spend time understand one, Nmap. Two. So basically, so as I'm writing the Nmap, please can you be running Nmap command? We look at DNS tools. We looked at LBD tools. Can we all spend? Can we all just do 1 or 2 commands on your screen, Nmap, or this? Then we move further to what? Vulnerability analysis tools. So we look at some Cisco tools. We looked at some. We look at a tool called Bed. Okay, please, just as we are listing those things, just be actually doing the commands so that we will use that to refresh our memory. So be doing the commands. Sorry, how many people do we have here today? Okay. Well, I'm just saying. Okay. Please, as we're doing it, please, can you be typing the commands? Because this class is no longer a startup class. It's an advanced class, because what you're doing now, actually, most people currently working are not doing it. So you've written 2 scripts, you have about 7 scripts to write. So I want to be seeing action in this class. As we are listing it, please be typing the command and be showing it. So as we are listing those tools, the necessary commands. So I think what you should do is this. This is I think what you should do. Control N. Information gathering tools. So we've listed some here. All you just need to do, you type nmap, right? 1 nmap. So the nmap case scenario, you come to your nmap. So whatever the command of the nmap is, you screenshot it and you actually bring it out. So you have that. So that's one note. I hope you are seeing my screen. You come again, you write 2. So whatever it is, so that as you are looking at it, so you can just call this particular information gathering. So the other one, you call it vulnerability analysis tool. So you have information gathering tool. So all the screenshots, you actually put it there. Now you can still come back and let's dwell more. Let's spend more time on this nmap. Now let's ns lookup So I want you to compare this tool to your port scanner tool. You understand? And see which one is actually more useful. This Nmap is actually an already existing tool. Now I want to scan. I scanned the stuff there. It's actually it was not. It said all the ports are closed. So I wanted to scan the 65,535 this thing. So let's compare this Nmap. This is an information gathering. Your port scanner is what? What is your port scanner? What is your port scanner? What is your vulnerability scanner? What can you call your port scanner? Your port scanner is what? Good. So this one you are looking at in the Linux, and you are looking at a port scanner. You now have your own customized information gathering tool. So now basically when you want to actually attack any system, maybe a website, what are the informations you need concerning it? You understand? What are the basic informations you need concerning it to actually what before you now go into what doing exploitation? From what you've learned so far, if they ask you, I'm looking at this web lost you guys. Sorry, I hope I've not lost the. Oh shit. Hello, please, if you are here, so okay, I'm still here. Okay, I just lost the MTN, but it will soon come up. It just switched over. So now the port scanner is actually an information gathering tool. It's an information gathering tool. So what you need to do is now try your port scanner, compare the information gathering tool you have. This particular stuff, you see, it's taking it's taking so much time. Now go back to your tool. port scan, the port scanner tool you develop, use it to actually run this particular stuff we are trying to do. Now, let's use this particular website as a case study. Let's see how many information we can gather about it. Now, which host is up? What are the key? Which host is up? What are the key informations you need to know when you actually now? Let me Ctrl+C. So the same thing, NX lookup. At this point in time, we will change the mode of the training. You do it before I do it. So you have the using this particular website as a case study. Now, use your port scanner as an information gathering tool. So use your port scanner to try to do what Nmap is doing and see which one is more effective. So use your port scanner. Use your port scanner, the last port scanner. Use your port scanner to actually so that you compare. So as you're using both tools, you're looking at the ones you are developing and the ones that are already made. What are the advantages? So I was asking a question before the internet went off. I was asking a simple question. When you are actually looking at the website, what information are you trying to gather? Yeah, what information are you trying to gather? What is in the open port? You understand? We are no longer Jejeti. Let's talk like experts. Now the ports are open. Why are the ports? Vulnerability in the open port. Yes, that sounds more like it. Now, how do you detect the vulnerability in the open port? The services those ports are carrying. Now, you want to see which of them are vulnerable, which of them you can exploit. You understand? So that is, you are gathering information about the website. You are using your port scanner to look at it. You understand? You look for vulnerability scanner. If you cannot get it, you look password cracker. How you can use password to crack into the this thing. App spoofer. You use app to see by the time you actually get into the network, you now use your app spoofer to see how you can become man in the middle. You are gathering information from the system. You are relating with the server. So you see that the tools you are developing is actually their advanced tools. So you should know what they are being used for. So what I want you guys to do, use your vulnerability scanner. We've tried two different scenarios now. Now, the first one was we were using Nmap. This is the result of Nmap. This is what Nmap did. Now use your own port scanner. Use your port scanner to actually do the same thing. Let's see the information it gives to you. Now, from here, I have so if I enter 172. So you can compare the wealth of information you get using this one with that. So please, are you now seeing how you combine both classes? Because those tools you develop in Python, this is what it's used for, the information gathering tools. But you are learning to develop it on your own. So are you seeing what is showing you? That so and so port is open, so and so port is open, so and so port. So you are gathering what information? So this is what information gathering tool. So let's take time, because we are doing it casually. We are not actually applying it. I think you should actually do it on list 5 different websites and actually gather information on it. So that we spend, it's not just rushing the class. Let's spend time, understand what we're doing properly. So where are we? So what does it tell you about this website? Now, from this particular stuff, what information have you been able to gather about this particular site that we just visited? So that let's spend time today so that you've been learning a lot, but it's like you don't know what you've learned so far. Now, it shows you that the guy who designed this website knows what he's doing. That you are not seeing any banner. Are you getting it? It's just telling you that port is open, you're not seeing any banner. Now come here, list Nigerian website. Just go to Google, Nigerian website. So we'll take them step by step so that it's more this time around. Let's I think I just needed to let's do Nairaland. Okay, let's do nigerloaded.com.ng. So NS, there's no even need for just Python 3. You can list as many as you want. dailypost.nigerloaded.com.ng. You can link legit.ng, tooexclusive.com. Let me just use two as example. www. So it's scanning. So that is what you should be doing. That information. Now you are not, so that they brought a website to me. Now the website redirects. Somebody went behind, actually altered something in the website. It immediately you hit the website. Which two? They're not showing different results. One is more detailed than the other. You understand? One is more detailed than the other. You understand? The richer the information you have, like I said, from the tool you have developed, from the tool you have developed, what and what are you looking for? What are you looking for with those tools? Because I can see you are just copying and writing codes. You don't really understand what you're looking for. You are developing tools. What are you using those tools to do? What is the essence of developing it? Why are you developing it? Yeah, those are the questions you are yet to answer. So the only reason why you are developing it, you want to get more information about those websites. They call it active information gathering. You understand? So it's showing you the ports that are up and running, the services that are running in some ports. Now, Mr. Gbolahan has told you that HTTP and HTTPS are open. Now, the next thing you do, it's this, so that you get the old scope before you now start going into. So you look at exploitations. So the next thing is after the next thing was so that you are building the knowledge. The first thing you know is how to gather information. The next thing you now do what? How to attack. That is what you do in cyber warfare. Brute forcing. That's how you now learn how to use what? Attacking commands. So you look My screen is not showing. Are you sure? Can you see the screen now? So try as many websites as possible. I'm actually doing one now. You understand? Try as many websites as possible. That thing is counting the first 500 ports. So by the time you do it, you understand clearly what you are trying to do. So you guys should actually try it on different hands-on. You have started developing so that you don't accumulate tools that you don't know how to use. That is what they use that tool for. Sorry. Did you see? Did you guys see this? Did you guys see that? Okay, now let's go further so that you understand where you are going to. Now let's go further. That thing is SSH. Let me come here. Copy. Copy selection. So that you can actually double Google. Are you seeing all the vulnerabilities? You come here. You can still come here. Exploit. Why is it not showing full page? So if you want to exploit that vulnerability, you just see there is a lot of what we have here is 7.4, right? Okay. Why is it not? Why are we having problem with scrolling down? So I think I'm actually I am showing you what needs to be done. So that is actually what exactly that is exactly where you are going to. So Those are the exploits. So you're able to read it and perform the exploit on your own based on that word. So do you now understand what exactly these tools are used for? You can still look at other websites so that the more the vulnerabilities you see, so as you get to there are 1001 Ninja websites. So when you get it, you so for those of you, sorry, this Ninja bet. Oh, I'm looking at Ninja website. Okay, bellaniger.com. We have ninjapals.com. So you can try another one, Claire. So it's time to get to work, not time to play. Get to work with what you have learned. It's scanning. So by the time you start scanning the site, now two things you notice: the quality of the website developers you have out there. Most of them don't know about website vulnerability. Now, you will now get to be seeing that the repeated errors that goes on in website development, how they can be easily exploited, the ones who are good. So you only get to know that by what? Practicing on your own with the tools you have. So as you are seeing those exploits, you are seeing the type of exploit that comes out. You understand? You are noting that on most occasions, which ports and which ports are open. Okay, I cleared this stuff out. You understand? You already start noticing that when you are scanning any website, HTTP should be open, HTTPS should be open, port 22 is always open. Are you getting it? So those are the things you'll be looking at. What's possible? So those vulnerabilities are no longer new to you. You only now know, okay, what steps to exploit them. So in doing that, in doing all those stuffs, you in doing all those stuffs, you are now getting used to what. So what you are learning, this is not a theory class, it's a practical class. So don't just come here and cram codes. So as you are seeing the vulnerabilities, you are getting used to the exploits. So you are expanding your knowledge. Now, when you meet somebody and a company, you run the website, you call the website developer, so and so are wrong. So you started practicing your profession. Are you getting it? So you pick up the act. The other part you don't know what needs to be implemented in the website for it to hide what? The ports. So that you are not displaying banners for people to see. Because somebody can come and scan the website and be seeing banners, knows what kind of softwares you are running. Are you getting it? So those are the things you need. Those are the things we need. You need to actually know as you do. So this is the last one we'll do. So all those things you're doing, they are not for fun. It's for you to play with them. Okay, what's your question, Mr. Solomon? So it's because of the abuse of the stuff. That's actually why we actually muted voices. Because I wonder why you come to class and you are disturbing everybody with what is happening in your house. It's a serious business. Now, those guys you see, they want to earn $4,000, $5,000 per month. It's not child's play. Any tool you get, start using it, start practicing it. The driving force behind the profession is what? It's curiosity. You have to be curious. That is what is driving the profession. You have to be curious. What is behind this website? What is making this website? It's being curious. You now be able to know, okay, these are the pitfalls of this website. This is the best way to actually bring it down. Curiosity. So get on your VMware, get on those tools you've built, start using them. Okay, I will just explain this. I will just explain this in a passing. It's actually a course, a topic on its own in penetration testing. So what we are just trying to do here is to give you an overview. But I can see that you are doing more of cramming than learning. That is actually why I'm forced to actually tell you to start telling people actually what you're supposed to be doing at this stage. You are doing more of cramming the codes. You are not learning. So that is why you see I'm actually coming out to tell you this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're not supposed to do. So you have enough tools already that you built on your own to experiment with. Get on different websites. You start seeing their flaws. There are a lot of quacks designing websites in Nigeria. It's not that those websites don't carry any meaningful thing. If not, they would have been bringing them down. What you are doing is active information gathering because you're actually extracting information from the website. Passive information gathering is when you like social engineering and all those stuff. Those are passive information gathering. So I don't know if I've answered your question, Mr. Solomon. So most people are actually not following this stuff. So we moved to exploitation tools, website penetration tools. We looked at website. I want us to finish this particular. We looked at Vega. I don't know if we treated Vega. We looked at WP scan, then Ju. Then we look at some SSL, W3AF. Then we looked at SSL scanning tools. So can you actually use your WP scan and actually tell us more to see if we can get more information and insight? What is the WP scan actually giving? What other information is it actually giving? So use your WP scan. the same website you scan, let's see what it will give you. So you see, these ones are actually, now let's use WP scan. Why are we having problem with that scan? Scan. Do you know you? Okay. 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 Oh, we're using WP scan since you anything. Did you know? Sorry, is that something I'm missing on this scan? What page? Okay. 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 This is how you use it. Yeah, you're trying to say something. I don't think so. I think the stuff is broken. Oh, okay. That code works. So this is another tool we actually looked at. I've actually for forgotten some of the commands. So this one of the tools we look at. Then we looked at TLS scanning. So we looked at something like this. So when you scanned a port, okay. So for the ones you've scanned and so this gives you what? More insight. So I believe I didn't want to actually go this deep. Now, what does this TSS LED is actually? Do you people know what they call ciphers? Do you people know what they call ciphers? So that is what it was testing for here. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to drag out is this: that you've taken enough information that you can start actually connecting the dots. Now, from here, clear. We started by using this. The scan shows us that there are only 2 ports up and running, right? Now, if it tells you there are 2 ports up and running, now you know that you now have that one. Now you now have another tool for actually testing the port. So let this part finish running. So you can now test the port with this particular tool. This is a website testing tool. So now what you see here, so what you see here is telling you that the encryption level on this particular site is very high. So that's another point of vulnerability you can look at to actually see how you can attack a website. So that is what this particular you're looking at this. The port is open. What is the encryption? Encryption level. So are you now gathering more information, or is it that you now know more? Now the port is open. The port is open. You can actually let it finish doing this scan so that we spend some time on what we are doing. You understand what you have learned so far. That it's enough information for you to have insights. You understand? So that you can fully grasp it very, very well. It's like we're just running so far. You don't know what so those little informations are what you are really looking for on the website. So it's running 500 scripts. So class, you started from just change directory. You are now looking at websites. You have commands to actually look at them properly, investigate the website, and actually know what are the content of the water and points of what vulnerability. That's what you are doing is what vulnerability analysis already and penetration. You're actually just scratching it on the surface. So the more you do it, now let's run this particular. So that in case you want to test more TLSS LED. TLSS, TLSSM. You can use any website. You can use. So if you are running a scenario and they said you should check the encryption level of the site, you should be able to actually use this now. Let's What is the difference between this website and the other website? Okay. Okay. So team, as you can see, the more you look at it, the more I'm actually seeing lots of stuff. Let me just take time to explain this to you people. Now, this particular test is actually very, very powerful. Now, you can see Cloudflare. I don't know if you guys have been seeing Cloudflare. So for those who build sites that actually carry a lot of traffic, so that's Cloudflare testing. You come down again. These two things you see, they are vulnerabilities. One, that's denial of service vulnerability. So as you so those things you see, they are not just you are looking for something there. So I believe you guys have heard of DDoS, denial of service. So that is actually what that port is testing. So it's a lot of stuff you have actually done, but you actually did because you've not been exposed to what you should be looking for, key pointers. So those are the things. Testing for cookies without secure flag, testing for cookies with secure flag. So that's what tracking, trailing. So all those things you see, are actually what you are gathering. Those are what information gathering. Now, if you want to do a DDoS attack on a particular website, now with this, you know whether it is protected or not protected against DDoS. Does anybody know what DDoS is or DOS is? Hello, are we still there? So please take your time. Okay, good. Take your time to actually practice around distributed denial of service. Yes. Take your time to practice around what you have learned. You have learned a lot in a short time. So I think you have not fully grasped what you have learned. That is why it looks that is why it looks as if you have actually not you are not doing anything yet. So we still looked at, we went ahead to look at, so those ones are what SSL scanning tool. Now, what is SSL? What is the meaning of SSL? So that let's take some time to go deep into what is the meaning of SSL. Okay, now what does secure socket layer do? From the configurations you have done, what does secure socket layer do? When they say a website has SSL, what does it mean? So that you start getting used to it. So when they say a website has SSL, what does it mean? So now, okay, what's the difference between HTTP, and HTTPS? So when you see a site that has HTTP and HTTPS, okay, what's the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? When you see, okay, what is making the site secure? What is making the site secured? Good. So what is making the site secured? Okay, good. So that is it. So now, how do you now? So when we are doing password cracking, now when SSL is implemented on a website, it actually brings in encryption and it makes the website secured. That is what you are implementing. Now, when you implement what SSL, now what is TLS? What is TLS? That's transport layer security or something. So what is the difference between TLS and SSL? So I need you guys to go and read up that part. You understand? I will share something with you now so that you read it up on your own. You understand? Because part of what you'll be doing is web app security. You understand? So read it up on your own. So I'll be sharing a link with you now. So now when you see a site, so that you don't waste your time, you see a site, SSL and TSL, TLS has been implemented on it. Some level of password cracking and password sniffing will not work on that website. You understand? That is why when you see a site where it does not have any, they'll tell you what you are being typed there. People are actually looking at what, because somebody has maybe has implemented what keylogger or whatever they have implemented or some stuff on it. They can easily see what you are typing on it. As you are putting your username and password, it appears immediately. They call it password sniffer. So those particular stuff does not happen on what? It encrypts it. So I'm trying to just drag you to the next code you'll be writing. So when you are now, come back to this place and start seeing what the stuff is testing, so that you should be able to read. So what you just did was a secure layer testing to test the level of what encryption on that particular HTTPS. So you should, by the time you finish reading this particular stuff and you run your script one more time, you understand? You run this test one more time, you should be able to decipher and interpret what exactly the results you are getting from this particular place. Are you getting it? So if you look where the analyzing SSL and TSL output directory, checking if the target service speaks what SSL and TSL, the target service seems to speak SSL and TSL. Using SSL and TSL protocol action, empty means I am using the default open SSL protocol version, running SSL scan, testing what for SSL version 2, testing for non-cipher, testing for weak cipher based on the key length, 50 to 56 bits, testing for strong cipher based on what AES. Do you now understand it clearly now? Testing for MD5 signed certificate. Now, what is MD5? Your password does not actually appear. It appears in hash. MD5 is an hash. Testing for certificate subject, class certificate, testing for certificate CA issuer, testing for certificate validity period. So do all those tests. Valid before July 16, after after July 16. Are you getting it? So all these points, testing for SSL renegotiation, MITM vulnerability. So you see, all these tests are what they call what? Website penetration testing. So you are actually treating it on the surface. So those tests are actually very powerful. Any single loophole there are points of what? Exploitation. So by the time you start comparing different tests and different charts on from different websites, you now start seeing that can somebody give me a website that does not have SSL? Do you know of any website that SSL has not been implemented? Let's look at it. Let's run our port scanner on it, so that you see how vulnerable the website is. Guys, just give me 10 minutes. I'm coming. Sorry, I'm back. Just get it was freezing here. So as you can see, you've learned a lot, but I think you are not putting it into use. That is actually why it's looking as if you have. So gather websites, at least 30 to 40 websites. Run these different commands on them. Monitor the results you are getting. You now start seeing that not all websites now, it starts telling you that what are people looking for, the point of vulnerability. Now, at the end, so all these commands you are seeing, look at what the headers is bringing. Open SSL. So look at it. So that is when you now start noticing what errors. That is when you're building. So it will help you in handling scenario. You are building your capacity. So when you get to scenario, when somebody say, okay, look at errors on okay, one minute with Mr. Solomon. So are you saying that you are not building experience on your own? So the experience is not until you actually start, you can start building it with the commands. You looking what? Paying attention to what? The details. Paying attention to what? Details. So that's it. So, Mr. Solomon, can I'll entertain your question now. Where did you get this? Where did you get this tool? Where did you get that tool from? Did we treat this tool on who is? Where did you get that? Did we treat that here? Did we treat that here? Okay, I don't. I've not heard about those tools before, so I don't know. I know we treat DNS tool. Hello. So there are lots and lots of tools. You understand? There are lots and lots of tools, and you keep meeting them. But the ones we treat here and the ones you install. So there are tons of tools. You too, as you're growing, you develop your own tools. As you can see, you are writing your own tool. So that tool, I don't know about it except maybe I look it up in GitHub. I'll look it up in GitHub. So basically, as you can see, I want us to use this week to exhaust these tools. So that before we move away from this spot, you know, you are not just accumulating. Come back to this place a little bit, dwell here, and actually exhaust this. So when you are looking at your notes, you're looking at, you can scroll down and see what those tools can do. So you take your notes. So that is you are totally exhausting it. So that is that. So I want us to dwell on this. So what we'll be looking at, it's so before you come for Wednesday, please, all those commands, website penetration, the ones we've treated, web expectation, I think I have to write it down. So I'll write it down this night. By tomorrow morning, you understand? I want you to actually try them out on your own. Write it out like this. Then put it. Then maybe type your comment. Now that's what you just do as classwork on your own. Now, for the one that has to do with websites, the ones that have to do with expectation, because you are just getting used to these tools. Now, what you need to do is what? Try it out on different as much as possible. Get your hands dirty with it. We are not in the class. It's not classroom stuff. Real life issues. Try it with sites. See different. Now you've seen that a site that is well developed, the best it could expose is what? Port 80 and port 443. Are you getting it? You start noticing that a site that is not well developed, you see so many ports open and some of them carrying banner. Now from that banner, you can now use other tools to now exploit what? So the more the tools you're now getting for proper exploitation, by the time you now start taking advanced tools, you now know how you can carry out sophisticated attack on websites. So you are building now what? Practical knowledge. It's no longer theory. You know commands. You are trying it out on websites. So by the time you do it on this website, compare the results. Take like 5. That's why you have your port scanner. You can type as much as 10 different sites there to scan everything at once. So I will be waiting to actually, so before tomorrow morning, I will actually write out the tools, the commands and the tools for you people so that you can now practice it. Let's use this week to exhaust it. So this week we'll finish vulnerability analysis tool. Now, I think we'll start password sniffing or password cracking tool. Is it password cracking? I'm not sure which part or password sniffing. We'll start it briefly. But this week I want us to fully exhaust these tools before we move into advanced Linux command and batch scripting, because that's what's left. Once you've taken tools, you've taken basic Linux command. So all those tools you are developing in Python, this is what they use them for. So that is what they use them for. But the only difference is that you are developing it yourself. So are you now following? So that's just it. So the fact that so now the scenario application. So the more the expertise of the person training you, the more it can expose you to what application. That is why the people training you, apart from the scenarios, the people training you, their industry experience matters. Yes, that's why you see we bring in the best to train you. Their industry experience, it will be able to expose you to vast usage of these tools. Now, the Spectre tool will now show you how. I think we've seen Spectre. Let's come back. Now we are looking at attack. Let me come back to the Spectre PDF. Let me see if I still have it here. I still have that document somewhere. Okay, this will be it. Okay. So are you seeing this set of commands? These are commands used for hacking. So, sorry, where did I paste that? So as you are building, you start looking at now that particular 8 and 9 are actually what keylogger. You've not treated that. You've not treated 11. You've not treated 12. You've not treated what? 13. 14 down, you understand? But all those that particular tool used to actually log in, you've not treated it. So all these are sophisticated attack. Are you seeing? So he used keylog. So you see, that is the more you learn, you should be understanding what it looks like. Does anybody know what .tgz file is? Have you ever installed it? So good. Okay, so at least you are now saying that you've taken a lot of lessons. Is you've taken a lot of lessons, but you have not really experimented them on site. So it will not make sense if you are just accumulating information and you are not experimenting them. We are not at the scenario level yet. You understand? So it's good you actually it's good you actually have it's good you actually have you try it out at this level, so that you are now gathering. By the time you actually get there, you now you will put it, connecting all the dots together. So what we'll be doing for the Linux class, we use this week to round up all those tools. You have them. Please create your notes this way. So I think what I will send to you will just be like this. I'll just write the stuff and map the command. I'll just send it like this to you tomorrow. So you now pick it up from there and populate it. First thing in the morning tomorrow, you get it. So that we'll pick it up from there. We actually treat it extensively. Then before we now move on to something else. So when you look at Kali Linux, you're just looking forward to add more to what you already know. Okay, I will pause here for any questions. So what we'll be looking at in the summary, again, we'll look at information gathering tools, vulnerability analysis tools, website penetration to exploitation tools, forensic tools, social engineering tools, stressing tools, sniffing and spoofing tools, password cracking tools, sorry, maintenance access to reverse engineering tools and reporting tools. So we'll look at all those stuff briefly, and from there you know you've actually it's just like a tutorial before the main thing. So I will that's no problem. No problem. And um, it can be- sorry guys, I'm just trying to respond to some. So by tomorrow morning, you should be able to actually have gotten whatever tool you need for the stuff. So we'll be taking information gathering tools, vulnerability analysis tool. I've listed all the tools we'll be taking. And from there, we actually move on to more advanced trainings. So I don't know, does anybody have question? Okay, so at Mr. Abdul Rahman Akiyode, you should have actually chatted me privately than sending a personal issue on the platform. That was totally wrong of you. So your issue is not an issue, you understand? So that's just that's just by the way. So it will be handled accordingly, as discussed with what? With the owner, with the sender, you understand? And even people who are your colleagues had advised me that I do not have any business with you, that I should forward money back to the sender, including charges for transferring the money. So you understand? So people who are bankers within the platform had advised that I forward the money back to the sender, including the charges for transferring the money. So that's not a problem. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Let's concentrate more on what let's concentrate more on what needs to be done. Let's concentrate more on what needs to be done now. So it's not a problem. We have actually gone past that stage. You actually are the one who you dragged us 10 steps back. So for every other person here, please, do you have any question so that we can actually call this class a day? If you have any question whatsoever. So what I'm trying to do is to paint clearly that you have a lot of tools already in your hand that you have worked with. Yes, you have a lot of tools. So for any other person, if you have questions to ask, please bring up your questions. So you have a lot of tools. So the more you use them, the more you actually see what it is used for. Now, when you now start taking training with experts, it makes it very easy and straightforward. They actually put you through their expertise, actually help now straighten up the road. So please, if you have any question to ask, let us know. So tomorrow we'll be rounding up the vulnerability analysis scanning file. Then from there, we actually move on to other tools to be used. I think you are actually getting two things wrong. So please do, Mr. Solomon, do some little readings on your part. Do some little readings on your part. Then that's no problem. Do some little readings on your part. Now SSL is actually secure socket layer. DNS is domain name service. Now in domain name service, you are doing information gathering tool. That you're just gathering information. Now for the SSL is a website penetration testing tool. Now it's testing the resilience of the website to attack. That is what it means. Are you getting it? Now, a website that is actually not carrying SSL can easily be attacked. You understand? Now, as you can see, if the cipher is between 40, now the SSL is better you are running version 2. If the cipher is between 40 and 60, it's not strong enough. Now, all those AES you are seeing, the encryption level you are seeing, is because it's strong enough. Now, on those kind of websites, you cannot extract, you cannot do password sniffing. It will, when you sniff it, it will appear at what? Encryption. Are you getting it? So there are two different things. One is used to gather information. The other one is to use to test resilience of the website. So I want you to be speaking this specifically because you know what you're doing. Why the other one is an information gathering. You want to know more things about it. Now, the other one, you are testing the resilience. If you launch this attack on this password sniffing, okay, I'll be able to harvest password. No, on this one, that means the resilience is not strong. So that's it in a nutshell. So I think, Mr. Solomon, I have answered your question. So, Mr. Riba, there's no problem. We can't pay, you understand? We full ground remain. So we are Think Cyber. We are a global brand. There's no problem. So I guess all of you, I'm sure you are enjoying your lecture and you're actually having a ride of your life. So experiment with it. Play around with the tool. Play around with the tool. Yeah, play around with the tool. So then from there you get to learn more. So thanks guys for coming around. This just 4 minutes to the time. We will actually continue from here tomorrow. Tomorrow will be more interesting. So all the tools you are developing, I hope you can now see that this is what they are used for. This is what you'll be doing all through. The only difference is that you can develop your own tool. It makes you what? So you are I'm sure you are actually now, you are now moving from incubator. You are just crying welcome to the world now. Mrs. Grace, do you have any question? I've not seen Mr. Adegbe, so I'm actually worried. It's been a while. I tried calling, he doesn't pick his call. Is there any? Sorry, let me see everybody that is here. Mr. Yusuf Abdurrahman, Mr. Adeleke, okay, you've been talking. Mr. Olayemi Awofisoye, hope everything is okay. Mrs. Temitope Oguni, sorry if I'm not pronouncing it well. Mr. Godwin Shukuma, you've been talking. Mr. Olayemi Awofisoye. So what you guys should know is this. We're actually building a brand and we have other infrastructures we are trying to implement to make sure we actually fast track. So we want you guys to take this training seriously because you are our first ambassadors. So we're giving everything it takes to actually make sure you get the best. So okay, Mrs. Grace Adims. Okay, the only person not here is Mr. Degbeso, Mr. Ekene Ejike. Okay, Mr. Ekene Ejike, are you here? Okay, I've been seeing you. Okay, Mr. Chukunonso is not here. Mr. Degbeso is not here. Okay, all right. So I wish you all well. We are back and we're running. No time. It will only get more hotter as we move on. It will only get more hotter. Just keep fastening your seat belt. All right, enjoy your night. We'll meet same time tomorrow. So, but before 8 a.m. tomorrow, you'd have gotten your Excel sheet. Try to actually all the commands, work on it on your own. Screenshot it should become your notes. All right, thanks all for coming. I'll see you tomorrow same time.